It's Mortal Kombat time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat Goro figure. Oh my god, this... do you know how long I've been waiting for this one? I'm so pissed actually, because he was announced for October. I mean, he was scheduled for October release, and they actually had him at New York Comic Con, which was in October. So I was like, he comes out soon after that, right? October. No, doesn't come out in October, doesn't come out in November, only late December when Army finally got him in and decided to ship him to me, so let's go. Alrighty then, so finally here, and I'm probably gonna use words like big and huge quite a bit in this review, because this guy is really big and huge. So, ruler, I already know my regular ruler doesn't cut it, so I have this thing over here, this little pull thing. So he stands at about 25 centimeters to the top of his head, and goes pretty much almost up to 26, well, even a little over 26 if we're going to the tippy top of his hair. So that's a little over 10 inches. So he's definitely in scale with everybody else, maybe even a little bit too big. I mean, that depends. Goro over the years has been inconsistent, and that's one thing I want to touch on right away with his face. His face is, I mean, this is just called Mortal Kombat Goro, right? But this is not MK1 Goro, because, again, he looked pretty janky in the very first Mortal Kombat. I mean, it's still recognizable, the face is still good, but I mean, it's a little bit of a mix of the MK1 Goro and the MKX Goro. But overall, look at this detail, look at all the wrinkles in his face, the glossy eyes, and the burnt lips. But then you have the long strain of hair, which just pegs into his head, by the way, because he got another one. And yeah, overall paint and detail of this guy. Have a look at the back. You have a million spots and like a darker skin tone, which goes over into a more regular looking skin tone. On the shoulders, especially on the arms, you kind of see the transition nicely. You have to really line them up though. Kind of disrupts the sculpt a little bit, but I mean, they did that for good looks, and it's also accurate. Then the muscle work. I mean, Storm Collectibles has been killing it with muscle work, and this guy, I mean, just like, boy, oh boy, where do I even start? You have veins, you have just all this tightened, rippled, muscled body. It almost makes me jealous. And then you got the bracelets, have some nice gold paint job. It looks really dirty, which I appreciate. For the Mortal Kombat line, I mean, it's not a nice, clean fighting game. Also got some scratches, some battle damage on there, giving us some very, very small pants, which at first sight I also thought they could be bigger to kind of hide the joints. But then again, I went back and looked at original Goro pictures, and yes, his panties were really that small. You got the yin and yang symbol and the floppy part of the belt in the back, all soft plastic. And the legs, holy, he didn't never forget about leg day, which is impressive because he has to take care of 4 arms and still got like these buff up legs. Again, veiny paint job with the dots and the darker skin tone going down to his feet. And even there, we got some dry brushing in there to make it look dirty, make it look black, and I'm stunned, honestly. The amount of detail and amount of work and great paint job. Although there are some slips here and there, it looks a little bit glossy in some parts. I don't know if that's intentional or not. And there was also one arm that had some damage. I'm not sure that's this one. There's some scratches on it. So, I mean, it's a big dude. To not be able to cover all the areas, I can somewhat understand that. So for such a big guy, we need big articulation. And I mean, it's basically Storm Collectibles standard, and that means it's pretty good. The head goes back quite a bit, goes forward. You really have to give it a push because there's a lot of soft plastic. The entire torso piece is soft plastic. So that does block it a little bit, but still, you have the double ball on a long pack. One ball in the head and one ball in the neck. So you have some really nice rotation. Goes to the side and all the way around. Let me move that. Let me take that off actually. The hairpiece does rotate around in the in this spot, so you can kind of rotate it however you want to. Then for the shoulder articulation, you got a big hinge in the shoulder itself. Then move that up, goes over 45 degrees, and you have the floaty piece in there. As far as the arm joint itself, it is on a ball joint, but you have some more rotation inside of it. So really, you got some good forward back. It's not as good as previous ones, but again, you gotta make some adjustments. Then we got the bicep swivel, double hinged elbow, and the fist is just on another ball hinge, goes forward back. This piece is soft plastic. I think this is floaty actually. Yeah, you can rotate the bracelets around. You can bracelets around. Then for the torso articulation, the chest goes to the back, goes forward, does tilt side to side, and has, I don't think it goes all the way around. It has some good motion in it. However, I do have a small problem, small complaint. I kind of have issues really getting the chest into position. And I think it's a little bit too floppy up here because it leaves a little bit of a gap unless you really move it up. And then still, it stands out a little bit. So maybe a little bit too much plastic there, guys. Then we go down to the lower part of the torso. Forward, back, side to side. Everything is kind of disconnecting over here. So the belt is also floaty, and the pantsu, I can't believe I call it pantsu, but that is probably also floaty. I don't think it's connected anywhere, but this is a bit of a problem. Why did they make that two single pieces? Just connect these two and be good with it. So now it's just gonna pop off. That's not a huge issue, but I'm just telling you guys so you know. Leg goes forward, leg goes to the back, leg goes to the side. We got this big ball hinge in there, which is connected to another pack, well, to a long pack that goes under there and is covered up by the pantsu. Once again, there it is. I mean, I call it pantsu for the ladies, why not for the dudes? Rotation in it, double hinge knee, and the foot is on another ball hinge. I can't really move the feet back and forth. Does go all the way around. Have some side to side wiggling, but not great. And then you got another toe hinge to round off your articulation. So for the accessories, as far as hands go, because he has 4 of them, it's kind of limited. You only have these kind of clawing hands, booby grab hands, and these ones which are a little bit more open, but we don't really have like a pointy finger or whatnot. And these are exactly the same because, again, 4 hands, 1 head. I mean, this one looks pretty good. Even has some dirt in the teeth. And then we got the 2 hair pieces. The one I had on him, the regular one, and the one that's a little bit more curved. And he's wow. What is wrong with my pronunciation today? 2 fireball hands, which look weird, but that's how it looked in the game. It actually looks better how it was in the game. And then finally we got the extra little base. What that means is you got a little base, but unlike Figure Arts or other companies, you actually got all the pieces because actually it's mostly for the energy effect. Pack that in here. You got the energy effect over there, and you have these 2 pieces to connect the energy effect to this arm, or you can just make this small grappling arm. You can use that one, which is ratcheted. Probably will not hold Goro in any way, but all of the joints are ratcheted, so that's also appreciated. But still, I mean, I'm happy that they're doing that. You could say like, wow, it's Goro, you don't need this, you only need this. Yeah, but they still do it. So that's gonna bring me to the final thoughts. What do I think about this figure? And I got him way in the back to give you another look at this menacing creature. And I have a lot to go over. So let's dive right in. The look, first of all, is perfect. I love it. The aesthetics are very nice. The only problem I have are the kind of flappy chest plate and the fact that the belt and the panties are not connected. Also, the legs really stand out a little bit, maybe too much, but then again, he's supposed to be like that. It even adds just to his menacing look. and everything that is going on. The paint job is 90% good. I mean, really good actually, but there are some slips here and there, and it's kind of like Stone Collectibles quality control issues have been, unfortunately, a thing that's just, I don't know, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse, and with this guy, it's just kind of like in the middle again. The accessories overall are good. I could do with maybe one more 4 hands, you know, like just like a pointy finger or something. Maybe not for all hands, but just give me 1 or 2 pointy fingers I can put on each side, whatever. Maybe a little bit more variety. A very nice touch would have been one with sunglasses in it. These were $500 sunglasses, asshole, from the movie, but this is not the movie, just that would have been a nice tidbit. The posability of this guy in general is good, but due to the lack of movement in the feet, you can only really pose them straight up, and I got them in on the base right now, because I'm like, I guess Stone Collectibles is trying to sell bases. This is not included in the figure. I bought this base. You can buy these single Stone Collectibles bases, which I bought a bunch of because I think they're pretty good. But yeah, overall, he will stand pretty much straight, but as soon as you try to do something else, let's see, go into a little bit more crouching action pose, because you can't really rotate the feet around, just this little wiggle. I tried to pull it out a little bit, it doesn't really budge that much. They didn't leave enough room. So yeah, you really gotta, you can play around, but it's not good. And that's a problem, but a problem that can be solved easily with a base, but you shouldn't have to buy a base. This should have been in the packaging, but okay, after going over all of this, I still do recommend this guy. I think he's awesome. The size is mind-boggling. It's just like, he's big and tall. Also, this headpiece doesn't really stay on that well. Again, quality control issue. And final thing, do you have any other options for Goro? No, you don't. So that's gonna do it, guys. Recommend it. He's awesome. And as usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure gameplay stuff and whatever Goro wants.